And I will put a bullet in all y'all behind what happened right now. You heard?
Okay. Oh man.
Yeah,
what's
my
up?
man talking about himself in the third person. You better give up the bag or whatever it is.
Cause yeah, exactly, man. When you gotta talk about yourself in third, well, Omar be back tomorrow. Omar be back the next day. But Omar gonna be pissed off if he does have to come back.
You don't want to do this to Omar.
Shit, you know this. You know you a badass when even little girls are looking out the window like, damn, this is gonna be good. Shit, somebody ain't walking away from this. She got our candy, she got our snacks and everything watching this, man. Double Toasted is heading out on tour, bringing you a night of comedy, games, and some interaction with the audience out there. And our New York show is coming up very soon, this Friday, September 10th. So you got to get your tickets now. Get tickets by going over to doubletoasted.com or going over to X1 Entertainment and get tickets for that New York show or any of our upcoming live shows. Hey, we'll see you soon. Hey everyone, support our Patreon, which helps us to continue bringing you our live streams, videos, and podcasts while bringing you new content such as exclusive live streams and animated shorts. Let's go ahead and get this out the way. I say get out the way. Let's not get it out the way. Actually, let's try to make a little something positive out of this. It's not anything that you can make completely positive because it is tragic and it is tragic the way it went down. But man, look, I know I say I have a lot of favorite actors out there, and I do, but I really mean it when I say Michael K. Williams, man. Michael K. Williams is truly one of my favorite actors. You probably never heard me say it just because the dude was in everything, man. You know, it's almost like he just never gave me a chance to catch my breath and say it because every time I turn around, he was in a movie, man. Our show. Well, Michael K. Williams died at the age of 54. If you want to read about the circumstances, then do that. I don't even know if I want to repeat them right now. I mean, you're going to hear them anyway. I'll just say it because, I mean, it's sad because, I mean, people, this addiction really is a painful thing, man. And sadly, Michael K. Williams, he suffered from addiction for a long time, ever since he was on a particular show that you guys will surely know when we bring it up. So he was found at home in his apartment, very nice apartment in Williamsburg, in New York. And they say that there was drug paraphernalia around and no foul play, doors were locked. And you can see where this is going. Overdose. They figure it was heroin, fentanyl. But this guy, he in interviews, he talked about how he was struggling very hard with it. Talked about how he went to a church one time and was so thankful that the pastor didn't know that he was Michael K. Williams from a particular show, and it helped him turn his life around. You know, he walked into this church high looking for help.
Wow.
That's how, I mean, it's like, you know, like you see in those movies, man, when somebody's is just, because we always laugh at those scenes in movies where somebody's just in the streets and they're just struggling. They're like, please, God, help me. And then there's a church and they just go in and there's always that one pastor over there reading the Bible because he don't read nothing else. Exactly. You know? Of course. Oh, welcome, my son. You know, it was almost kind of like that. So that does happen, man.
Yeah, they swing both of the doors open. Goes, I need help.
Oh, Lord, I promise, please, if you help me, I'll go straight. And somebody was waiting on him in there, man. And for a while, he actually did all right, man.
Cleaned up for a bit, huh?
Yeah, man, he actually did all right for a bit. And I guess people, that's the sad thing about addiction. Don't ever underestimate or downplay addiction, man, because if you're not going through it, it's really hard to understand the mentality behind it. Because a lot of people brush off addiction because they say gambling, nah, you just can't, you just want to win money. You just get greedy. No, man, it's not always the substance abuses that you think about, drugs and alcohol. Although in this case, that sounds like what it was, but it's also behavior, man. A lot of behavior is you just get into a routine, or you just get into these habits that just kind of feed your high or feed your brain or whatever, and you can't stop, man. So
yeah, it's one of those things where, you know, it's equivalent to, or I wouldn't say equivalent to, but it's close to saying, okay, this is my last chip. Meanwhile, you taking 3 or 4 more. You're not stopping yourself.
Yes.
You just said that was your last chip, but then you took another 2 or 3.
Don't ever underestimate, don't ever downplay these things, man, because these people really are suffering. And it's a shame. As you can see, no matter how famous you are, no matter how much money you have, it can get anybody. But having said that, having put that out there, having got that out the way, let's talk about the great things that this man did, because, you know, it's sad that he's gone. It's a tragedy. I was a little broke up about it, but we always sit back and we always realize, man, they gave us so many gifts while they were here. Mm-hmm. And Michael K. Williams gave us those. He gave us those gifts in the forms of his many performances that he put out there in many projects. Now, what made me feel really awful about this, people like, man, see, told your ass to watch The Wire. You know, I have yet, man.
I mean, watching The Wire wouldn't have saved his life, but okay, I don't understand.
It wouldn't have saved his life. He didn't know who the hell I was. I don't think he was offended.
See, Cole, you should have watched The Wire. He'd be here right now.
You see, Corey, you see what you did?
That's on you.
If you were watching The Wire, I'd still be here today. He's the actor for the character that made a catchphrase out of the warning, not saying, but the warning. Yo, Omar's coming.
Mm-hmm. Omar coming, y'all. Did you hear me? Omar coming. Come on, get out of here.
Damn, son.
Say Omar coming, somebody in trouble.
See, now I really want to watch The Wire, because I'd be the dumbass in the middle of the street talking about, who's Omar? Yeah, bam. Me, bitch.
Come on, let's go.
I mean, clearing the streets.
It's like when the Tasmanian devil is coming to town. So, you know, everybody's running.
And I will put a bullet in all y'all behind what happened right now. You heard?
Okay. Oh, man.
Yeah,
what's
my
up?
man's talking about himself in the third person. You better give up the bag or whatever it is.
Because, yeah, exactly, man. When you got to talk about yourself in third, Omar be back tomorrow. Omar be back the next day. But Omar going to be pissed off if he does have to come back.
You don't want to do this to Omar.
Shit, you know this. You know you a badass when even little girls are looking out the window like, damn, this is going to be good. Shit, somebody ain't walking away from this. She got our candy, she got our snacks and everything watching this, man. With Michael K. Williams, man, his trademark was that scar on his face. And that scar on his face, that was actually something that I think got him a lot of work, gave him a lot of character. Not that he needed it, man. He was an amazing actor. It was because of that scar. I'll tell you a little bit more about that scar, man. How'd
you get those scars?
You want to know how I got these scars? Man, so he was a handsome guy, man. I mean, he is a handsome guy. I mean, look at him taking this picture right here. He says, shit, I know I'm sexy. You gotta tell me. Yes. I mean, not too many people can get away with a scar sliced across their face and still be looked at like a sex symbol in a way.
It's true.
But this man has so much charisma. This man has so much. He has so much talent. He was so smooth that it almost added to them. It almost made him sexier. It added a mystique to it. Probably, like Oz was saying, you wonder how I got these scars. He was known before he was known for being a tough guy and a lot of these things, known for being a great actor. He was a dancer. Mm-hmm. He was a dancer and a model, man, and he was a dancer for Madonna for a little bit. If you actually go to the video for Secret, you can spot him. I think he might be late on the video, but you can spot him real quick. There he is right there, man.
Ah, there he is.
And I guess he did have the scar right there. Because the thing is, with that scar, there's a story that he told in the interview where he said, I had a model, and in fact, I might have some details wrong because I heard this a while back, like a couple of years ago. But he said, I was going to a model shoot the next day. And that night, right before the shoot, I don't know what happened. He got into it with somebody, got into a fight, or he got into an altercation, and which was weird because he said I was always a sensitive guy, but something happened, and somebody sliced him across his face. And then the next day they're like, well, shit, that just all up, right? You didn't mean no more modeling for you, but somehow, you persevered into shifting that into acting. And and that's who you kind of know today, man. It's almost like a superhero, supervillain origin story in a way. Yeah,
right. I mean, and again, it didn't help that, it helped that, he got cast in The Wire, which, his character was very gangsterish. So, that scar only helped his character. So that makes sense, getting the foot in the door. Yeah, man. On that front, anyway. Yeah, that scar actually is the thing that, I don't know how much it got Madonna's attention, but that scar got the attention of somebody that put him in his first movie. He was in a movie. I don't know. You might know the movie because you keep up with a lot of old hip hop and a lot of the big movers and shakers in the history of hip hop. So there was a movie called Bullet back in 1996. Do you remember this? Yeah, that's what Trench was in that. That's Tupac. Tupac and Mickey Rourke, man. It's like some fantasy gangster flick in a way, but Tupac was the one that saw Michael K. Williams and said, yeah, you got a gangster look to be part of my crew in the movie.
What are you talking about? Disturb me while I'm eating. Hope you got some good news. Yeah.
And by the way, that's his only part in that scene right there. So I'm sure that he has a bigger part and he says something, but that's the only thing I could find from that movie with him in it, besides just watching the movie and taking a clip from that. But yeah, that was him, picked up by Tupac, man. This dude was a model, a dancer. And you could also go online if you want to see evidence of his dancing, just in case you can't spot him anywhere dancing behind Madonna. You can go online and see his dancing skills in other places. He's all over the place just dancing with people, man. I don't even know what the hell that is, to be honest with you. The way I don't want to know. I like to think that Michael K. Williams just randomly just walks down the street and just dances with people to spread joy. Shoot, I think so. Yeah, that's probably his bike. That's probably his bike right there on the floor. Get on this. He's just riding down the street on his lemonade-colored bicycle, little horn. Oh, y'all dancing? Well, come on. Yeah, man. Yeah, I have no idea what that is or where that's from. I don't even want to know, man. I don't want to know at all. But the stuff that you do know, let's get into the stuff that you do know him from, besides The Wire. Because this man worked so much. That's what I'm saying. It's like I never had time to even say that he was one of my favorite actors because he was just in so many things that I just took for granted. Oh, this guy is so awesome that of course he's in all this stuff. Of course he's in everything. I don't have to vocalize that, but I did truly love the guy. I tell you, I used to watch this show on HBO. This man worked a lot with HBO apparently. Did you ever watch Boardwalk Empire? Sure did. Michael K. Williams, he was one of the reasons why. Now, there's a lot of great actors in there, and there's a lot of great storylines in there, but Michael K. Williams was one of the top 3 people that I watched that show for. He played the character of Chalky White, and his character at times, man, they would have, like, his scenes for most of his character would be like little short movies. Yes. And I used to love his scenes, man, because they were like little stories that you could just watch on their own. They were like just little chunks of narratives. And plus, man, he was so good because he would do a lot of monologues on that show. One of my favorite, I'm so glad I found it. One of my favorite is the one where he was retaliating against that Klan guy. And he told him about, do you remember this? He told the Klan guy a story. Like he had the Klan guy tied down. You know something. Look, if a black man got a Klansman tied down, you know some shit is about to go down. It is not going to be good. But he tells his whole story about how his father was a great carpenter, made awesome furniture, and he did it for some guy, and another person found out, didn't like that a black man can make great carpentry like this, do great work, and decided to like take him out in the woods and lynch him. And he tells his story to this Klansman, real calm, real cool, But the cool thing about it is that if you watch Michael K Williams in this Michael K Williams in that in this scene right here, what you will notice is this man is able to muster rage, sadness, vengeance, intimidation, sorrow, and it's all done without having to raise his voice one bit.
My daddy go with him to the edge of town, and the pepper tree they hung him from.
He said, I see nothing wrong with the story so far.
The story's so good, even the clown is like, what happened next? Go on.
These here my daddy tools. I ain't building no bookcase.
You see how scary, intimidating, and also how sad that was, and also looking at him as like, and you kind of rooting for him, like, yeah, I wish I could just stick around and see what you're gonna do, man. You know, and you also see like the whole, just him, just the pleasure in what's about to happen too. That's what I love about his acting, man. A lot of times he did a lot of stuff where he would emote very loudly, but there were so many things that Michael K. Williams, that he could show people, you know, the art of just being laid back and subtle and quiet with things too. You don't always have to sell a big scene with big emotions, man.
Right.
Yeah, man, he did that a lot. A lot.
Yeah, no, that was a big thing about him. You know, he was very loud person quietly.
Yeah.
You know, with a lot of his scenes where it had to be emotional, you know, because he had a lot of those, a lot of his roles, he called for him to be emotional a lot of the times. And he was masterful at doing that, you know, like I said, without, you know, physically being loud. You know, he was loud with his actions. It was always great to see him in something.
You know, every time I see a movie where they're about to torture somebody and they pull out a spread like that, I don't know why I think that each one of those instruments is for somebody's dick and balls, man.
Damn. Never know. You never know.
Yeah, that's just every time I see something like this, it's painful, man.
Yeah, it's not going to be good.
Whatever it is, it's not going to be good.
You know,
at least not.
You know he's going to use everything in there at least once.
Like I said, man, he could get very, very loud and emotional too. Because like I was saying, man, the man was always performing. Speaking of always working, and speaking of HBO, I mean, don't get me wrong. When he did have to emote strongly and loudly, those were some amazing performances too, man. They were powerful, very powerful. Because he was, I always got the impression that this was a man who was never afraid to take on roles that a lot of other black actors would not do. A lot of black actors would turn down. Like, the man played, I never found out. I'm not even trying to pry into his personal business now, but I always wondered if he was, I always wondered what his sexual orientation was, because he did a lot of roles where he played a gay man, but it always lent itself to something powerful. He played the character of Tick, who was the father of, and I forgot that actor, and I love that guy. The guy who remains from Loki.
Yeah. Majors, Jonathan Majors.
Jonathan Majors, man.
I thought Jonathan Majors was the Tick character. He was.
Oh, I'm
Tick's
sorry.
father.
Yeah, he was the Tick character. That's his father right there.
Yeah, it's his father. Yeah.
And that's the scene where we've all seen Lovecraft Country. This is the scene where Tick finds out that his father's gay, and of course, this being back in the day at a time when, look, gay was not something you were supposed to be for any man, but especially for a black man. And a black man that left your mother for another dude, and but you know what was great about this is, and I think you could see a lot of stuff, a lot of personal stuff being poured into this, because he always said I was sensitive, and I always had to go out, and I always had to I was always picked on. I always had to get respect if I wanted it, you know, and I think you could see that being brought into his performances, man, like this right here, where he has to tell Tick, hey, boy, hey, look, you know, I might like penis, but I am still your daddy.
I'm still your goddamn daddy. And you respect me. Get out of here. You get out. Don't you ever call me out my fucking name.
I'm telling y'all, man, this guy works so. I forgot he was in. I forgot the movies and the shows that he was in because he was working so much.
Yeah, you know. So I know you compiled your list of probably what he was in. You were like, oh yeah, he wasn't that. Oh yeah, he wasn't that. Oh yeah, he wasn't that.
Yeah.
You know, you're used to seeing him. You're like, wait a minute, damn. You sit back and think about it, like, wow, this fool was in a lot of things that I watched and liked.
Yeah, man. I told y'all I'm a big fan of the Purge movies. Not all of them, but I like them, man. I'm that guy. I'm the odd person out. I'm the minority of people who really likes those movies, and some of the movies I actually love. And somehow, some way, after hearing about Michael K. Williams dying today, I forgot that he was in one of the Purge movies.
You, your money, and the purge.
It is.
Shit, they almost didn't make a sequel after that, man. I gotta tell you something, man. Like, I really do want to know at times, because it doesn't make a difference. Like I said, he played a lot of gay characters, and that's great. Not, cause that's what I meant by he took a lot of roles that a lot of black people, like a lot of black men probably wouldn't take, because you know how black men are about homosexuality and masculinity and all that kind of shit. But man, he took on a lot of roles even when they weren't gay characters. It's almost like they kind of, you wondered. Let me see here. Do you remember in Assassin's Creed when he looked at Michael Fassbender? He's like, "They're watching you."
Yeah, I don't know what that was about.
Yeah.
I'm harmless. Oh, they're watching you.
You know, I only ask about this because I remember he played a character in a show that I actually really liked, but because it's based on these books that I like. You ever heard of Hap and Leonard?
No, not at all.
So Hap and Leonard is based on these books, and who wrote these? I should know this. I don't know the guy personally. I've actually met him once, but there are a series of books where you got these two characters. One is a tough, good old boy redneck, but he's not racist. He's not really anything. He's very open-minded because his best friend is a black Vietnam vet who happens to be very openly gay. And but when they get together, they go around and you know, they're almost like private detectives in a way. They get hired to do these odd jobs and track down people who don't want to get their hands dirty. They end up being mixed in with some shady people, and they kick ass everywhere they go, man. Like they're two badasses, and the show's really good, man. And I remember thinking at first, after reading those books, they said that Michael K. Williams is going to be Leonard, and Leonard's the gay character. But I said, man, that character he's described as this really huge guy. That's why people don't mess with him too much about his sexual orientation. But once I saw Michael K. Williams play that character, I was like, all right, yeah, man. All I had to do was just see it. He is perfect for that role.
Right.
Call that a dick milking? Huh? Hold on, let me get you something.
Damn.
Pretty, ain't it?
Hey, I'm telling y'all, man, that's a very underrated show because it was on the Sundance Channel. But it's a great show, and I wish it had gone longer, but just watch it, man, for Michael K. Williams. Like, if you don't even like the show, you'll love his performance and his character in that, man. For face value, you know, you look at it, you don't think that he's got a lot of range. Actually, he does, man. He does, with a lot of stuff that he does. I mean, you don't see him with a British accent or anything like that, but he definitely took it to different emotional levels. He could take it to different. He can make, even with not changing his tone too much, he could create entirely different characters. The man worked so much. He did video games. Battlefield. That is the last thing that I saw of his. They released a short film called Battlefield 2042. And I don't play Battlefield, so I didn't know that he was a character in Battlefield. But they released the short featuring his character. And I will say this, that the CG it's good enough to where, and you got to consider I was looking at it on my phone too, but it's good enough to where I was like, I thought it was live action for a little while. That's a CG Michael K. Williams right there.
That looks cool.
Yeah, but that is definitely his performance and his voice behind that character.
We can't let that maniac get his hands on the coordinates.
We don't have enough manpower. I don't think we have a choice.
Like, what was cool about that is not just that he was in a video game, not that he was just doing something else, and you know we all loved him because he was a fan, but it was this video game that was making him move from like a dramatic actor, some ways a comedic actor, to making him like an action hero. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know, they were full blown, just straight out action scenes in here that he was the center of, man.
No, was it him that was in the R. Kelly Trapped in the Closet as well?
Was he in that?
I think he was.
He said no, except you were doing 60 in the 40 mile zone.
That's just weird hearing R. Kelly come out of Michael K. Williams' mouth, man. I don't like that.
And I said, officer, he said no excuses and no exceptions.
Wouldn't it be crazy if you found out Michael K. Williams sang all his own parts? Why not, man?
Do it all.
He did so many things that he left us with so much, man. He left us with a lot. Like I said, he left us with a lot of gifts that he gave us with his acting and his talent, man. Like I said, man, you really don't think about it. We all want to be sad, but you know, when somebody dies, and even when it's tragic, man, just sit back and just think about all the good things, man. It really will put you in a good mood and make it easier when you hear about people passing this way. You know, I mean, this guy did so much, and it is sad that somebody of his talent, you know, won't be around to give us more, because I know that he had a lot more in him to give, man.
Oh yeah, between him and Chadwick Boseman, they had a lot of stuff to give, man. And he was on everything, So I think he would have continued that trend to be everywhere.
Shit, I think he was gonna be at the Double Toaster show in New York, man.
There it is.
Yeah, he left us a lot though. Mm-hmm. And like I said, I always say this, any of us would be, and we would be lucky to just have contributed to life and achieved half as much as this man did. So, it's not like he's leaving. It's not like he's leaving without having done anything with his life. He did a lot. It's not like he's leaving leaving behind him a bad legacy. That's not the case. He's leaving an incredible legacy behind.
Yeah. So. Through the art that he has, he was able to, help a lot of people see things a different way. He's actually probably been able to help people go through certain things. That's powerful that you're able to do that through this medium and be able to help people that way and not even know it. So the fact that he took his craft so seriously and was able to convey all those emotions, ranges of emotions, and convey them so convincingly. Yep. And is able to, like I said, go through those characters. That definitely helped plenty of people go through whatever it is they're going through. So yeah, man, that type of stuff is hard to replace. And hard to come by a lot of times. So, yeah, he will be missed.
Yeah, 54. He had so much more to give us, but let's not be greedy, y'all. Let's sit back and let's be sad, but also let's celebrate. Somebody has achieved like he has. You got to celebrate that, too. And in a way, that's paying sometimes a lot more respect when you do celebrate their lives that they gave us. So, I'm glad that we were able to do that.
Yeah.
Hey, sad. Sorry you're gone, but congratulations on having just an incredible life, man, and being able to share that life with us.
Yeah, man. Safe journeys, my friend. Safe journeys.
Yes. And remember, love us so much, we're watching you. Oh.